Hello friends! Today we are updating Barbie and Ken's house for the new heir that we've added in the last video. So we had baby Clara and she is a button. We love her to death, but we needed extra space. So I decided to, I kind of went back and forth of whether or not to do a 2-story on this lot or just expand this lot or to move to a totally different lot. I thought I had my mind made up that I was going to move to a different lot, build them this grand home, and so I kind of started doing that, and it just wasn't turning out the way that I wanted it to. And to be honest with you, I really love the shape of this house and I like the style of this house for this Barbie, and I feel like that they just wanted to add an addition and add some more room, so they just built up. Because I know people that have done that, and I feel like that's a very realistic thing to do. That houses will start off as a ranch and then, they will actually expand up and you'll have like a completely new house. So that's what we ended up deciding to do. And I wanted to stay with the same theme of the house. I kind of played around with different shapes upstairs just to see if I wanted it to be like wider on both ends or if I just wanted it above one section or the other. And I ended up doing more like an asymmetrical when I'm finally all said and done with what I had decided, because I kind of tried symmetrical and I was like, that doesn't go because downstairs is not symmetrical. So it looked better if I just put it above like the kitchen dining area and then a little bit of the living room. That seemed like it looked the best. But actually, I do think I put it over the entire living room in the end, because I started off with just 2 bedrooms upstairs. And then in the end, I ended up doing 3 bedrooms. So each of the kids has their own bedroom. And then Ken has an office space downstairs because, with him doing the law career, he needs his own desk, computer space. And actually, I noticed in my inventory that Ken had been gifted a chair for the law career. I didn't realize that was something. So that's kind of what prompted me to end up changing one of the spaces downstairs that used to be the kids' bedroom to Ken's office. And then we also gave them an ensuite, which I realized after I was totally done building it that I did not give a bathroom downstairs for everybody. The only downstairs bathroom now is going to be Ken and Barbie's bathroom downstairs. But the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't think that really matters, that there's not another bathroom downstairs, and I didn't want to change it anymore. So I'm like, I'm just going to leave it that, the kids can go into Ken and Barbie's bathroom if they want to, which I have a feeling they're probably going to use a lot because it is now the nicest bathroom. But I did extend the house backwards a little bit and the living room forward. So the kitchen got like 1 tile space bigger to the back and the living room got 1 tile space bigger to the front, which actually ended up working out so well. I feel like it was like a little bit necessary. Like I feel like it was slightly too cramped before, so now it's like just the right amount of space. But I'm really, really loving the way that this house turned out now. Upstairs, we're going to end up with 2 full bathrooms upstairs. One of them is a Jack and Jill that my thought is the 2 sisters will share. So that'll be for Josie and Clara. And then Jax will have his own bedroom in the back that he doesn't have to share in his own bathroom. So all 3 of the kids will have their own bedrooms. Now, I did not have a lot of money I had like $36,000 is what she had made, or they had made by the time we were done with the last episode. So this was a $36,000 add-on. And I pretty much used all but like maybe $1,500 of it on the actual build. So you're not going to see on the upstairs, if you want to play with this and you want to download it, you're not going to see that it's like completely decorated to the hilt upstairs because we just didn't have the funds for it. So I couldn't put all the little knickknacks and all that kind of stuff. The other thing, if you are wanting to use this build, you're going to have to turn your custom content on. I do not know what in there is custom content, but it kept telling me that I had custom content. I looked through it like 3 different times. I could not find any custom content in there because I built it without it, and I didn't select anything, and I had deleted all the custom content. So I'm not sure what it is. I was wondering if maybe it was either like the birth certificates or the marriage certificates. I didn't even put any pictures on the wall of like Barbie and Ken yet because I didn't want it to flag that as custom content. So I don't know what it's flagging as custom content, but there should not actually be any custom content in there. If there is, it's something that I don't even know is in there, and it's probably some little thing that doesn't even make the build. So just if you are wanting to download this, please click on custom content when you're searching it on my page and look up my name. It's Darling Games, or you can hashtag Darling Games, and then you'll be able to find it, because my original channel is Darling Games, so I didn't want to change my hashtag on the gallery. I've just left it Darling Games. So if you're interested in this build, just know that that you have to click on custom content. And I do apologize. I tried to find it, but I could not find where it was at. I don't have a clue. Anyway, so with the house, what I kind of was thinking as I was like looking through it and trying to figure out what to do is I thought where the bathroom was downstairs that I would just remove the bathroom completely and put the staircase there, because there's no windows there. We have those tall wooden slats, which I really love the way that looks, and I just wanted to carry that upstairs. So I thought that would be kind of a perfect area just for our staircase. And I thought with this house being modern the way it is, that an open staircase would be good. So the dining room ends up getting just a little bit bigger, more spacious, one because the kitchen moves back one, but actually I think I added a cabinet in when the kitchen moved back, so the front part of the kitchen I don't think actually moved back. Now I can't remember. And maybe it moved back 2 tiles. Maybe it wasn't just one. I don't remember. But the dining room ends up getting more space because we removed the bathroom. And now you have this open L-shaped staircase in there. So we ended up adding 2 extra chairs to the dining table. We kept the same dining table because it sits 6. Anyway, I just added 2 extra chairs. So instead of having 4 at that table, we now have 6 at that table, which I feel like looks really good. And I love that table and chairs for this house. Like there's so much about this house already that I absolutely loved that I did not want to completely change it. So I'm super happy that I just decided to stay on this lot and to make it a 2-story, because I feel like it's still the same feel that we were already going for, but it's just a bigger version of it, if that makes sense. So hopefully you like it. Hopefully you agree with the decision just to stay here. And I did put trim around like some of the house just to kind of define different areas, which I feel like looked really good. I did end up expanding the back over top of the back of the upstairs over top of the downstairs, which you'll find that there are a lot of houses that actually do that, where the upstairs is slightly larger or the downstairs is slightly larger on one side, and then you either have like a roof piece or you have a hangover piece. So we just are having a hangover piece on this one. And the reason I decided to do that was because I was really struggling to fit a second bathroom up there for Jax, and I was just really determined that I wanted Jax to have his own bathroom. So I kind of had to make that fit, and the only way to make it fit was to hang over the downstairs, because I didn't want to make the living room really any bigger. I mean, I could maybe, but I really like that fireplace being on a slant like it is downstairs. Like that was one of the key things that I wanted in this house, is I wanted the living room, dining room, and kitchen all to be open to each other and to have a fireplace that they all share. So I didn't want to get rid of that part. So I didn't want to explain the downstairs anymore and lose kind of the shape that we had established. But I also like the slant that we have downstairs on the fireplace wall. It did not look good upstairs. So when I tried to do that, it just kept cutting off all the rooms and making it so it didn't look good. So finally, that's when I was like, I'm just going to do like an overhang. It'll cover the slant on the downstairs, but we can leave it there. And then we'll get good sized bedrooms upstairs. So we do end up getting really good sized bedrooms. I think they're all like 4x5. And I think initially Jax's was like 3x5 or 3x4 or something like that. His was a little bit smaller, but I think I pulled the wall forward a little bit or something, because I like the rooms to at least be 4 tiles by 4 tiles. 3 tile rooms are a little bit tricky to try to fit stuff into, but I'm more a fan of like 4x4 or 4x5 are like, for me, the ideal size bedrooms. So all of these kind of fit within that range of that style bedroom. And I did end up going with the same like sink style. I upgraded their toilets though. So they have better toilets, but I did go with the same sink style that we already had because I really liked that sink style, and also the tub because I love that tub. So we ended up with 2 of those tubs upstairs. I think the girls have 2 vanities, and in the master downstairs there's 2 vanities. And I went with like a spa tub downstairs. There's like that corner spa tub because I have those 2 corner windows. And yes, you can see in, but you know, it's The Sims. You can't actually see in The Sims. So I figured it was safe. And then since we did the spa tub, I wanted to give them also a shower. So we did kind of like a little half wall moment with a shower there. Gave them a toilet and a couple of vanity sinks. And I felt like it looked really good. Like I really liked the way that it came out. I did have a little bit of extra money to be able to make it, to decorate it, put some little accessories like on the bathtub and on the sink and on the toilet and that kind of thing. Downstairs, I didn't do as much of that upstairs. I did a little bit of it. I tried to do rugs in everybody's rooms and also in the bathroom. And I did decide just to go ahead, and even though they're just toddlers right now, to move Jax into his own bedroom, and then Josie has her own bedroom. Clara's, I gave Clara the baby stuff that was in the nursery from before, from Jax and Josie. So like all the little trinkets that were up on shelves and things, I went ahead and put that on shelves in Clara's room because I figured like the baby room would have the diapers and all that, like the baby powder, the wipes, all that kind of stuff. So I did put that in her room. So her room is, I would say that probably Josie and Clara's rooms are a little bit more decorated. Jax definitely got the raw end of the deal. His room is barely decorated, but when he ages up to a kid, I have every intention Jax is going to get like a little boy room. So, and I think with Jax, we're going to do blues in his room just because we'll do some pinks too, just because it's Barbie. But I think we're going to add in some blues to his room and see if we can make that a little bit more masculine. Now, Ken, unfortunately, he's still got a pink office. But his is, the chair that we got that went with his office was actually, had a swatch that was kind of, I think it was meant to be red, but it almost looked like a dark pinky red. So I ended up using that swatch, and then I was able to find a rug that kind of matched the office. So his does have a little bit more like red pink tones, I guess, to them. I also added like a wall of bookshelves, which was awesome. I really love the way that it turned out. I ended up using the bookshelves from the Book Nook, I think, is the new pack, and they stack on each other, which was amazing. So I ended up having like them flanking the window, and then also kind of making sort of like a window seat. Well, it really isn't low enough for a window seat, so it's just a lower, I guess, shelf in the middle. My intention is to like put stuff on that, but I don't think I ended up putting much of anything on it because we kind of ran out of money. So we definitely have room in this house to be able to like decorate a little bit more, add trinkets when they get stuff, when Ken gets stuff from his work. I don't know if you get a desk in the law career, so I kind of went with a desk that I felt like was a little bit more masculine. But if he gets a desk in the law career, we might just substitute that desk in his office. We'll just have to see what the career brings, because I could look it up, but I hadn't looked it up yet. I like to be surprised. I like it when they bring things home and I'm like, oh my gosh, look what they got. That's what I'm doing with Ken, is I'm just waiting to see like what he gets, and then we'll kind of decorate his office with it. But I did buy him his own computer. Actually, no, I gave him the laptop we already had. I bought Barbie one of those new, like, they look like, to me, they look like iPads sideways on like a little keyboard. Like a keyboard mat kind of a thing is what they look like to me. I went ahead and got her one of those. Gave him the old computer that he had already before. But I really like the way that his office turned out. Oh, and there was new curtains. I used the new curtains from that new Riviera, I think it is, the pack that just released like this last week. I went ahead and used those curtains. I felt like they were like perfect because I could kind of raise them up high enough for the windows and get them over top of the bookshelf, which looked really nice. So they also got a TV this time. We gave them one of the TVs on the wall, so that way they have that. There was a new picture frame that came in that was with wine. I ended up putting that on the wall in the kitchen. That's kind of more like, I don't know, dining. If you think about like if you're drinking wine or whatever, that's kind of more of like a kitchen dining sort of a thing. So I put that on the wall in the kitchen, and I felt like that looked really cute. It was kind of perfect little picture. It was more like browns and reds, not so much pink like what this is, but I felt like it's still kind of similar to the office space. I felt like it still worked really well with the color scheme. I went ahead and put that in there. I really liked the way that that looked. Another thing that I did is we have a pool. So you'll see towards the end of this, we ended up making a pool for them because it's hot. We're in Oasis Springs and they're always hot. So I felt like I wanted a pool in this house, and I can't remember if in the starter that I put a pool in the starter or not when I uploaded the one to the gallery. Of course, I took that all out when I downloaded it for myself because I just wanted like literally a starter home. But I did put a pool on this, and we put like a little play area for the kids. So the kids will end up having an area out back that they can kind of play in while, mom and dad will be able to do the pool. And there was this nice fencing that I got that's like glass and metal or glass and wood that was kind of tall that I put around the pool area and like around the decking. But I did make the decking a little bit bigger. I still left Barbie with like her being able to make, why can't I think of the name of it? Like the floral stuff, like being able to make flower arrangements. That's what I was trying to say. So I still left her with that to be able to make the flower arrangements. She still has the table in her inventory. I did did not put the table back out, but I kind of figure that as she makes the flower arrangements, we'll just set the table back out on the back deck because there's plenty of room. But I actually put her teaching yoga mat on the back deck for her to be able to have classes. It was like perfectly the right size. So hopefully when she teaches classes, it will actually work. I guess we'll have to test the class part out, but I did already have them playing in the house and they're able to get to all the rooms and everything. So I didn't see any problems with the house. If there are any problems, let me know. I can always go in there and correct it. Yeah, I didn't, when I was playing with it, because I kind of just tested out the rooms and stuff to make sure that they could get to everything. They were able to get to everything. But the yoga, I did not test out the teaching yoga mat to see if everybody could actually like set their yoga mats on our deck. But it's pretty clear around it, so I'm pretty sure that they can. I'm pretty sure that we'll be fine. But anyway, so yeah, so that is the build, and I hope you really enjoy it. I will leave you for the rest of it, and I will see you again next time. Bye.